Hi, my name is Kara King. Today I'm going to discuss with you the components of the process model of curriculum development. The product model is a more grade-specific approach with an end goal in mind. The process model is based on how learning occurs over time, according to Studd 2022. According to Hung 2022, components include question-posing techniques, inquiry-based learning, and classroom discussions. According to Studd, components of effective teaching include demonstrating knowledge of content, students and resources, suitable instructional strategy goals, designing coherent instruction, and assessing student learning. After conducting research on both curriculum design models, I believe that Horizon Education Center's curriculum philosophy is more process-oriented than product-oriented. By having mixed-age classrooms, we cannot focus on a single product. Instruction must be individualized to allow for students of varying ages to complete the lessons. In the preschool age classrooms, for example, we use questions to guide investigations. There is a question of the day that we seek to answer, as well as the use of the KWL chart. Students are asked to produce questions that they have based on topics that they help to select. We also use formative assessments such as the KWL chart and anecdotal notes to plan lessons and drive further investigations. Considering the anecdotal notes taken during the course of the year, we spent a great deal of time on plant and earth-based activities. We covered the water cycle, grew a garden, and learned about insects, while continuing to develop math and literacy skills. There was a wide variety of data used to assess the final product, which were checkpoints, although the checkpoints are written on a progression of widely held expectations. The students are not given a definitive score, but rather this informs the teachers and parents if the children is below, meeting, or above expectations. Where children score low is where I focus my energies towards developing those skills through lessons and individualized instruction. We use hands-on approaches and everyday life experiences, such as growing a garden, while discussing gardens. We cared for plants while discussing what the plants needed, discussed the parts of the plants, and then named them on the plant as we dissected them. We viewed charts of plant life cycles while pulling weeds and watching the plants grow, using the experience to build our knowledge of Earth's environment. If we are a product-oriented program, we would focus on the garden alone as the outcome. In the process model, every part of learning is considered. Learning was extended as children made new discoveries while working in the garden. Through the gardening unit, which it became as the students seized upon the subject and earth-based activities surrounding it, the teachers demonstrated knowledge on content, students, and resources. The teachers learned as the children learned and sought out investigative experiments to answer the questions on a weekly basis. Resources became available, such as soil for the outdoor garden bed. Plants started in the classroom were taken outdoors and planted in the garden by children of all ages. Through discussions, drawings, and play, assessment was completed through anecdotal notes, pictures, and videos. Instruction was coherent and continued to build on the topic. As children posed new questions, the answers were sought through investigations and books read aloud. The learning theories that would fit well within this model are the cognitivist learning theory, the constructivist, and the socioculturalist. The cognitivists believe that short-term memory becomes long-term memory. Children develop at different rates and should be taught using techniques that pertain to them, according to Ornstein-Huggins, 2017. Through building on the topic of the student's interests, incorporating developmentally appropriate activities, the experiences and learning became part of long-term memory. For example, by the end of the unit, each 5-year-old and some 3-year-olds were able to recite what plants needed to live and what was something that came from a plant. On a field trip, the children were able to recall the parts of a plant. Children were taught in a variety of ways, including enhancements to the interest areas. The constructivist approach, the students were aware of the learning process by generating questions and seeking answers. Learning was done using discovery techniques. Students were actively engaged in problem-solving and critical thinking skills. Ornstein-Huggins, 2017. Sociocultural. By having mixed-age classroom, students learn from one another. The teachers create small group and large group activities, and students hear and see what others say and do. Through discussions and activities, the students learn within the scope of their proximal development. In conclusion, curriculum can be divided into 2 categories. While we do look at the end product of our lessons, we understand that learning is done on an ongoing basis, and that learning, even completing an art project, is done during the process. By completing formative assessments on a continuous basis, we create lessons based on those assessments and use questioning techniques and discovery learning. The techniques that we use are based on philosophy and grounded in developmentally appropriate learning objectives. For further information, see the references listed in the video link below.
Thank you.